Hi, I'm Vicki Hyman. I'm here at NJ Advanced Media with a sorry, my Periscope thing just went off. A sad day here at NJ Advanced Media with our local girl Jax officially out of it. Bobby, you spoiled it for America when you posted that last night. Shame on you.
I know. Shame on me for reporting the news when it was happening.
Sorry.
I know.
It was kind of perfunctory, wasn't it?
Yeah.
They do that every year?
Yeah, and this year was a little bit different because they've been doing one episode a week, so they had to sort of cram everything in. But yeah, they announced right away within the first 2 minutes that Jax was the low vote getter out of the top three and would not be advancing to the performance finale, which followed last night. And so that leaves Clark Beckham and Nick Fradiani. Clark from Tennessee and Nick from Connecticut. Clark and Nick. I know. She's got the X. It's not the X.
Crying this morning when you were putting it on there.
I know.
I saw you.
I know. It's not the X that she prefers. She usually has a little X on her face. But anyway, so what happened last night? Clark and Nick each sang 3 songs. They started off with revisiting a song that they'd done earlier in the year. Clark did "Georgia on My Mind" by Ray Charles again, which was great. It was lick for lick exactly how he did it in Hollywood Week 3 months ago. It was very strong. It's completely in his wheelhouse. Nick did "Bright Lights" by Matchbox 20, which he did, I think, 2 weeks ago. That was very good, too. Again, it was just rehashing what they'd already done, so it wasn't anything. Neither one of them did a new take on it. So they were pretty...
Can you compare the two? I mean, who do you think did a better job?
Yeah, round one, the judges, I think, gave it to Nick, but I thought personally, Clark did a better job. I thought it was a little bit... he's just a stronger vocalist in general, and when they're both sort of in their prime wheelhouse, I think he is stronger.
Okay. And then we had Simon Fuller's pick.
Yeah, Simon Fuller's pick. He gave Clark "Ain't No Sunshine" by Bill Withers, which was a little on the nose, but I thought...
also been done so many times.
Yeah, it really has, and I thought it was going to be a little too on the nose, but Clark just did it on his acoustic guitar. It was just him. And it was actually really nice. It was kind of like a little more contemporary version. And I was like, by the end of it, I was like, I was cursing at how good it was because I really enjoyed it. I thought that was one of his best performances all season. So I guess Simon Fuller knows better than us. And for Nick, he did
"I Won't Give Up."
Correct. He did "I Won't Give Up" by Jason Mraz, which was really good, and it was a risk because he played piano during it, and he hasn't played piano all season.
Do we know that he played piano?
No, the judges didn't even know he played piano.
Do you think he didn't want to do that because Jax was like the piano person?
No, I'm not sure. I'm honestly not sure why he didn't work that in earlier, because the more musicianship that you show, it seems to really help on Idol. So he broke that out, and I thought he seemed a little uncomfortable just because his head was really jerking around a lot. Because he hasn't played piano on stage all season, so it was. I don't know if that was the best move to break that out at the end. That round I gave to Clark as well, and the judges I think gave that to Clark.
And then finally the awful, almost always awful coronation song. How bad were they this year?
They were really bad.
Really bad.
For Clark's, I felt bad for Clark. It almost felt like sabotage.
A song called "Champion."
Yeah, it was a song called "Champion," and it was really like... It was like if an 8th grader was trying to write an Imagine Dragons song. Like, it was just like over-the-top rock song, and like it just wasn't what Clark does. It had no grit, it had like no blues to it at all. And it was just...
Well, none of these coronation songs ever have any grit or blues to it. I mean, it's always incredibly bland.
Yeah, they always feel very, very rushed, like they were written in a day. Nick's was better. Nick's I could actually maybe hear on the radio.
Beautiful Life.
Yeah, Beautiful Life, and that actually like... What was again sort of a straightforward, simple rock song, but that sort of fits his MO a lot better, and the judges definitely like that a lot more. For Clark's, they had very little to say. They never hate on the song because it would be, they're
blasphemous.
Yeah, of course, because they just can't do that as judges for the show. But for Nick's, they said that was his was. They basically said his was better.
So someone has a question.
Oh, what's the question?
Someone is asking me why American Idol is ending.
Oh, well, Bobby, you wrote a post about it the other day. Besides the fact that it sucks? Oh, sorry.
That's a little editorializing. I think...
Well, out to him, the critic. So were you.
That's true. It's ending because ratings continue to plummet, and it's way past its prime, and they weren't going to end it this year because they want to have the big final season, and maybe that'll draw some better talent who are like, oh, I can't audition for American Idol ever again. Might as well go for it.
As opposed to auditioning for The Voice.
That's the level of talent on that is considerably higher. It's much harder to get on The Voice.
Well, someone also wants to know if they're bringing the X Factor back.
No, that is dead.
No, that's pretty dead.
Dead. Thankfully, it is dead. It was.
Yeah, that was. If you think the talent on Idol was subpar this year.
And of course on the X Factor, they also tried to make up for it with these ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
I mean, which actually The Voice has been doing a little bit more too, like too much production. Too much production.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, but we're gonna get to The Voice in a second.
Yeah. Do we want to pick a winner?
Nick or Clark? You had Nick Clark and Jax being so close. You were not willing to make a prediction.
Yeah, and they said that they didn't say whether it was between 1 and 2 or 2 and 3 but they said it came between two of them came down to 0.4 of a vote. So that was either between Clark and Nick or between Nick and Jax. But still, I mean, our reader poll that we have from last night, 4,000 people voted, and it's within 5% difference.
And NJ.com readers are always right
about
these things.
It's eerie how right they are. It's more than I would like to give them credit for, actually. They're usually pretty right on the nose, and right now it's Clark 55, Nick 45. And I personally think Clark should win. I think he's the better singer.
Okay.
Whether he would do better in the world, I don't know. I think Nick is more radio friendly for just what the market is like right now. But
one thing that when you posted last night, I was reading your post about like the pluses and minuses of all the of all the finalists and why Jax may have gotten kicked out. You didn't mention the cute guy factor. I mean, I know Candace Glover won last year, but I mean, like for like 7. Ago. I'm sorry. For like 7 seasons in a row, it was like, Chris Allen and just all those. Just who watches a show? Is it just young girls who want to see cute guys with guitars?
I don't know. I think a lot of those young girls were voting for Jax too, as sort of like the role model kind of way. But yeah, I mean, I think that of course that helped. Being an attractive person definitely helps.
Attractive man.
Yeah, but I mean, last year, Caleb Johnson was not, and he looked like Meatloaf. I mean, he's not an attractive dude. I mean,
well, I wouldn't say that, Bobby. I'm sure he has his fans.
I'm sure. You want to be
Look
a critic?
Fans.
Yeah. I mean, he looked and sang and performed like Meatloaf, and he won. So it's not necessarily that, but
it was 7 seasons in a row. I checked. Cute boy.
Okay,
anyway,
I'm not gonna. We got to keep going.
The Voice. Let's move over to The Voice. Yes. Speaking of cute boys, continuing to go forward for no reason at all, Joshua.
Yeah.
Why is Joshua still there? Why is Joshua still there? Nice guy, nice voice. What is he doing in the finale?
I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. I mean, the fact that India Carney and Corinne Hawthorne were in the bottom when each of them were, show-stopping amazing on Monday, blows my mind. I mean, India Carney, she had been in the bottom the last few weeks, but she had the Sarah Bareilles song and
Earth Song.
Earth Song by Michael
Jackson
was
with the
amazing.
Flowing red. I mean, it was really a sight to see.
Yeah, and she would just really let it go. That was the first time that she really felt like someone who wasn't just an opera singer singing pop songs. And it was. I'm sad to see her go. I would have liked to see her perform again. But if she was going to go, I mean, at least she went out on a really sort of triumphant note.
She did. That was a wonderful performance. So as we said, India was the one that got kicked off last night. She was down in the bottom with Corinne, who is just continuing. I mean, even though she was in the bottom, she has really, been on the rise.
Yeah, that gospel song she did, I thought was fantastic.
Oh, Mary, Don't You Weep.
Yeah, I thought that was great.
What did you think of one?
I liked it. I didn't think it was her best. I thought she did a good job with it. I thought the song choice was, I don't know. They sing so much U2 on The Voice. Like it didn't captivate me the way her other performances have.
Well, speaking of not captivating, Joshua did I Can't Make You Love Me and When I Paint My Masterpiece.
Honestly, I can barely even remember what they sound like.
He sounded exactly the same way he's been sounding when I saw him in that cafe, in wherever he's from.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't dislike the guy. He seems like a nice guy.
Yeah, nice guy.
I just don't think he's a compelling performer. I mean, it's just, but America clearly sees something in him that we don't, as people who watch this show constantly and are forced to analyze it.
Do we want to go to Sawyer or Megan?
We can go to Megan.
Okay. I'm not the only one. really over the top, bombastic. Did not need to do that, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I thought it reminded me of like a Lisa Loeb video or something.
Yes,
like,
it was
like,
a
up
very
against the
weird
wall.
video.
It reminded me of like a 1995 music video.
Yeah.
And then she did Tennessee Whiskey,
Yes.
which was much more in the wheelhouse.
And very interesting. She went back to country, and I'm
Yeah.
telling you, I mean, it's like, I think that she is the de facto country singer, even though she hasn't been singing country.
Yeah.
And so she's counting on all the country people to boost her up, and I think it may work for her.
Yeah, and it's funny because she mentioned about having like her tip jar song like last week, and then this week kind of felt like her like vote jar song.
Exactly.
Yeah, like that. It was just like, hey guys, I'm the country singer. Vote for me. I'm Blake's performer.
Yes.
Put me in the finale.
And I think she will be in the finale.
I
mean, she's in the finale. She will, I mean,
exactly.
like the final two. I mean.
Yeah, it seems to be working for her.
Yeah. And so Sawyer Fredericks, What It's Worth by Buffalo Springfield, which also has been done kind of a lot.
Yeah.
I didn't mind his version.
Yeah,
it was pretty good.
It was good. It's just.
Am I just grasping for nice things to say at this point?
It's just so much like just in the box, and can he get out of the box? Probably not. And they're just giving him every like old school sort of like Joe Cockery kind of song.
Why does Joshua bother me more than Sawyer? Because they've both been doing the same thing over and over again every single week.
Because Sawyer is more unique, I guess. He's more like bright-eyed and young, and has the long Hanson hair. And
Have you ever seen him without the hat?
Yeah, they showed him with a ponytail working on the farm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry,
So.
And then finally, the last song was 1,000 Years, which is probably going to be a vote getter. Everybody loves that song.
Yeah. I mean,
did a nice job with it.
I don't have much to say one way or the other. It was fine. It was probably won't hurt him.
Okay. So we have Joshua, Corinne, Megan, and Sawyer. Who's going to be the first knocked out? Joshua?
I hope so.
Corinne, and then Corinne?
I hope not. I mean, I think Corinne is good enough to win the whole thing.
I think she's good enough to win, but she's clearly not getting the votes. And I think Megan has the country thing going for her, and Sawyer's got
it's just, I think
whatever he has going for him.
I think for the Voice, being in the bottom isn't as detrimental as it is on Idol, where you just can't get out of that hole. Because with the iTunes stuff, that it could really bump you up. I think.
Now I haven't been
that'll be a
paying
big
attention
factor.
to the iTunes stuff, although I know Sawyer has been doing extremely well.
Yeah.
How is
haven't looked
Megan
this
and
week.
Corinne? Just generally have them doing?
Not as well. I mean, I always see Sawyer near the top, but at this point in the season, when everyone's watching, like most of their stuff is gonna crack like the top 100.
Okay.
It's really just who can get into the top 10 and get their votes multiplied.
We have a question about America's Got Talent.
Oh,
Okay.
yes.
Someone wants to know who the judges are going to be this year.
Oh, well, it's Heidi Klum, Howard Stern, Mel B from the Spice Girls, and Howie Mandel. I met them all because they filmed some of their, they taped some of their auditions in Newark this year. Yay!
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, that's coming back to NBC this summer.
Yeah, soon. Yeah.
Yeah, we have nothing else to say about it.
Hopefully they get some cool acts that haven't been done before. I mean,
well, the Magician won for the first time last year, right?
You're good. I don't know.
Yes, I covered it. I covered it. And it was the first Magician. He was pretty awesome. So yeah, I mean, it's a show that it's like kind of like American Idol, where the first part of it just seems very, very long to me.
Yeah.
And then I kind of sort of get into it towards the end when all the dreck is gone. I have no patience for the dreck.
Yeah,
which I think has always been one of the problems with American Idol. There was too much dreck.
Yeah, and I think they've cut back on that, and I think America's Got Talent should cut back on that a little bit. Like they, I mean, watching somebody sing poorly is one thing, but watching somebody like dance poorly or like do like some crazy nonsense thing is like just like why am I watching this?
There's a reason why the Gong Show is
exactly.
off TV.
Yeah, get a gong.
All right. Well, we will be. I don't know. Are we going to be back tomorrow to discuss the finale? Are you going to be around tomorrow?
Yeah, we could probably do it tomorrow.
Okay,
yeah.
we can pull out a Periscope tomorrow for American Idol, and then we'll be back next week for the Voice finale, right?
Yes.
4 people in the finale. Each judge has a person, so should be. I can't say exciting because I see who's in the finale.
But we'll see. It could be. You never know. You never know.
All right.
Alrighty.
Well, thanks for joining us.